What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Ultimate Torture God Career Mode, where the Ultimate Torture God is set to make his very first title defense. We don't know who the opponent is yet, but looking at the top 5, I would assume that's going to be one of Stipe or Cain Velasquez. I mean, Stipe probably deserves a rematch. It was a good fight while it lasted, and I could definitely see him getting one very, very quickly. Cain Velasquez, obviously, at the time that the game released, was still considered one of the best guys in the UFC, so it makes sense. And there you go, it's Cain Velasquez, 33-7, still has a great record. His grappling is definitely a lot better than UTG's, mostly because UTG, aka me, isn't very good at actually, stopping stuff on the ground. So it's gonna be an issue, but I feel like Ultimate Torture God has shown he can get past pretty much anything. There's no doubt about that. He's knocked out people in brutal fashion. He's knocked out great strikers. He's beat down grapplers. He's beat down pretty much everything you can put in front of somebody, and he's done it very, very well. So we'll see what Cain Velasquez can bring differently. He eats a sidekick to start off. He's actually a lot shorter than some of the opponents that UTG has been taking on. He's only 6'1", so take that into account as well. So the reach advantage shouldn't be too. The reach shouldn't be too different between these two guys. And UTG is able to stop the first takedown attempt, which is massive. If he can do that consistently, then Cain pretty much has no shot of winning this fight. So that's a really, really promising moment. And of course, he gets hurt. UTG goes in for the kill. Is it over? It's not over yet. Cain Velasquez definitely showing a better chin than he has in real life. Oh, and there you go, takedown. This is bad for UTG. Inside control. Oh, he goes straight into crucifix. This is terrible because there's really no defending from here. The side saddle is a bit better, actually. I used to think that side saddle was actually worse, but realistically, in side saddle, at least you can block. In crucifix, you have no chance. So yeah, not looking good right now for UTG, who's taking a beating on the ground. All he's really able to do is sprawl from one terrible position to another one. Now he has balls in his face. Goes back to side control and almost gets up. So close to getting up. That was pretty much vital. And there you go, a submission attempt. He's going for an Americana. Luckily, his submissions aren't that great, apparently, and UTG's able to escape the first one, but he's taking a beating. It's almost over right there. Look, you could tell he was almost going out. Oh, he can't really take more of these. One or two more shots like that, and he's going to be done. UTG's in deep shit right now. The worst situation we've seen him in a long, long time. I think it was since Francis Ngannou submitted him. But this is, I would say, a lot worse. This is somebody who's a ground and pound god. We've seen what he did to Antonio Bigfoot Silva. We've seen what he did to Junior Dos Santos, but that wasn't really on the ground. But we've seen what he can do when he's in these kind of situations where he's on top and he's just kind of putting his weight on you. He's just pummeling you. He was one of the most devastating men in the UFC. Because every time you fought against him, it was always famous because he would leave a scar on your face somewhere, and a big one at that. He was kind of like the El Cucuy of the heavyweight division. Only difference is he was beatable, whereas El Cucuy seems like he's just an absolute demon there's no way anybody can beat him. Right now, Cain is going to the body too, trying to destroy his rib cage, make him weak, take down an already inferior cardio, and UTG's on top, and he gets back up. Can he put him away? He has to knock him out. If this goes back to the ground, it's probably going to be over quick. Cain Velasquez, though, he's no slouch on the feet. He does have good boxing. He's caught by right straight there. UTG is still very dangerous. Oh, the takedown is there. Luckily, there's only 8 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Alright, and UTG ends the round in a dominant position. That's a good thing to see. That's a very, very good thing to see. That is promising. But once again, if he ends up on the bottom with a long time left, then he's going to be in deep shit very quickly. Look at the overhand. It landed perfectly, but it wasn't enough to put away Cain, who got back up and proceeded to beat down UTG. It was probably a mistake to follow him to the ground and try to finish him like that. It's just, it's a risk. It is a risk, because if you pull it off, then, of course, you got an easy knockout, no problem. But if you allow somebody like this, or like Stipe, to get up, there's a good chance they're going to take you down. And once Cain takes you down, he doesn't usually give you much of a chance of getting back up. He's just that kind of a physical presence. So Despite him not looking physically, special in any way, he's definitely very, very physically strong. And there he goes in for a takedown again while being rocked. And he sends UTG straight to side control. Now in crucifix, pounding him with elbows. Side saddle. Not where UTG wants to be. Definitely not where he wants to be. But at least he can block from here. Goes to side control, hoping to try to get out. Oof. That was a bad elbow. Another hammer fist. UTG is kind of struggling to survive right now. His stamina's low. Oh, he's taking shots. It's going to be over soon if this continues. More side saddle damage is being done, and there it is. It's over. Cain Velasquez is once again the UFC heavyweight champion. I think that's the third time he's won it now. That's bad for UTG. Very, very bad, because if this guy keeps the title, that is the worst possible matchup for him. So it'd be very, very difficult for him to dethrone Cain Velasquez. It's a shame, too, because UTG was looking pretty much unstoppable. Looking like he literally couldn't be touched. He couldn't be hurt. And then Cain just goes in there and he just manhandles him, essentially. Exposes a major hole in his game. It's a tough one to take. Especially because once you get to the title, that's where the hard part actually begins. You know what I mean? It's one thing to get to the top and another thing to stay at the top. That's the old cliche. And it has been proven to be correct here, as Cain Velasquez returns to the pinnacle of mixed martial arts. When it comes to GOAT status, though, UTG is still gaining ground. Of course, there's still plenty to do. At least he got closer to the pay-per-view main events that are still a long, long way to go. But he didn't lose too much longevity, and he did move up a bit. So, oh, look at that. Immediate title opportunity against Fabricio Verdum, who apparently beat Cain Velasquez for the second time for the title. So Fabricio Verdum is to Cain what Cain is to UTG.
Hey everyone, it's Megan Olivia. It's time for your UFC Minute. Ultimate Torture God got brutally robbed, like we all know, by Cain Velasquez. Everybody that was watching that fight saw him tap. 1, 2, 3. That is game over. Everybody knows it. Cain Velasquez should be disqualified, stripped of the title, and it should immediately go back to the one and only Ultimate Torture God, the love of my life, and the one true sex symbol the UFC has ever had. Let me know what you guys think, and I look forward to seeing you on the next UFC Minute, you dumb motherfuckers.
Thanks a lot, Megan. It is time for Fabricio Vicavallo Verdum versus Ultimate Torture God in a fight that could definitely be the return and the redemption fight for Ultimate Torture God. Will he ever get a chance to avenge his loss to Cain Velasquez? Time will tell, but right now the task at hand is beating down Vicavallo, a guy who definitely is a difficult matchup as well because his jiu-jitsu is devastating. If Cain Velasquez was able to hurt him on the ground and do stuff like that, then imagine what a guy like Fabricio Verdum is going to do. The only difference is Cain's more of a ground and pound fighter, whereas Fabricio is always going to be looking for submission. So that could favor UTG, who hurts him immediately and very intelligently doesn't go to the ground, throws this wild-ass bullshit head kick that makes zero sense. And he allows Verdum to get up, and there you go. He goes in for a takedown, and we're going to see what UTG is really made of here from a jiu-jitsu point of view. Keep in mind that he does have excellent submission defense, at least statistically, and Fabricio is already at stage 2. Remember, he only needs 4 instead of 5 because the submissions are so good. His BJJ is literally about as good as it can get. So they have to be very, very worried about that, especially with Verdum on your back or in top mount. You just play it very smart, play it very cool here. Make sure he doesn't waste any energy. He needs all the energy he can get to get up off of a submission attempt and hopefully get back to his feet and put a beating on Fabricio. Right now, Vicavallo is doing a good job going to the body, mixing in his ground and pound. And he stands up. That's really weird. That's something I don't expect. Oh, he gets hurt! UTG, once again, very intelligently doesn't go to the ground. Can't risk Fabricio grabbing his legs. That would pretty much be a death warrant. And the taunt is there. The sidekick lands. Uppercut lands as well. Fabricio has to watch out, because yes, he's a good striker, but he's not on UTG's level. Oh, the spin kick almost landed. Oof, good head movement there by Fabricio. The uppercut's there. Verdum's hurt. Oof, that could have been a finish right there. UTG keeping it smart. Lands a Superman punch. Throws an elbow. He gets taken down again. Just under 2 minutes left. Can UTG get up? Okay, his transition gets blocked. That's terrible. That's terrible. With low stamina, Fabricio can really do a lot of damage to him. Potentially choke his ass out. And there he goes, straight to the body again, trying to weaken the stamina. To be fair, UTG's been doing a lot better in the second half of his career in terms of keeping up stamina. And there he goes. He hurts Verdum again. Sidekick doesn't land. Superman punch gets blocked. The sidekick misses too. The spinning sidekick. Oof. UTG lands a great cross. The head kick isn't quite on point, and Verdum goes in for a trip, but UTG gets out of it. He's landing great uppercuts too. He's looking really, really good right now. Fabricio's in deep shit. Oh, he gets caught by another uppercut, and he's hurt. Looks like he was wobbled. Sidekick lands. Superman punch lands. He hurts him. It's over. What a fucking knockout there from UTG. What a way to come back into relevance, essentially, because it would look like, you know, that was kind of an exposing loss. And usually, if you lose on your first title defense, you don't really get an immediate shot. Something must have happened to Kane to where he's going to be out for a while for Doom. For Doom immediately had the title and gave a shot to UTG. So, interesting right there. Very, very interesting. UTG just had a clinical performance here. He didn't land with an uppercut. So, interesting to see if that's what the fight considered to be the decisive blow. I would say it's probably this cross right here, because you can see his head doesn't move backwards, so I don't think the shot landed. He's actually cross-eyed too. I don't think he's like that in real life, but I also don't believe that the game actually has technology to make you cross-eyed after a fight. Regardless, UTG is once again the UFC heavyweight champion of the world after beating Fabricio Wojtków all over Doom, showing that he can actually do a really, really good job of getting out of submissions. His takedown defense, despite being really high, is still apparently pretty shit, but his submission defense, which is arguably more important, is definitely very, very high. I don't think there's really a chance of him getting submitted by Francis Ngannou again in the near future. That would just be completely shocking, even more than it was. And speaking of the devil, we got Francis Ngannou again for UTG's second title defense, but of course this should be his first officially for this title reign. So Ngannou has an opportunity here to steal gold against the guy who's already beaten him, I think, twice, right? Is this their third fight? I think this is the trilogy. So, of course, there's a fight that has a lot of significance for both men, really. In particular for Ngannou, who lost the last one, and if he wins it, he actually gets the title, too. So, he's looking good, I gotta say. His movement right now is looking a lot better than it did in that last fight. His double jab is on point. But most importantly, his footwork is looking really, really good. So, he's clearly taking a step forward. The body kick actually does a lot of damage. The uppercuts were pretty solid too. The head kick just kind of grazes him. Doesn't really do much to him, unfortunately. Oh, the head kick is there from Ngannou. And he hurts UTG. Can he get the trilogy win? Or no, wait. No, this isn't the trilogy. This is the fourth fight. So, damn. UTG. Is it the fourth fight? I don't even know if it's the third or fourth. Regardless, UTG goes in the side control. Lands a nice little cheese-ass elbow. It would be interesting to see if UTG can go for a submission, but I don't really think he has much of anything in terms of submissions. He might have a rear naked choke, but other than that, I don't think he has anything really. Like maybe an omoplata or something like that. Because I think UTG learned that doing a random lesson, but yeah, I don't think it has too much other than like a rear naked choke. So the takedowns right now aren't working at all for UTG. Ngannou's easily brushing him aside, using all the physical strength he has. I mean, he's just a fucking big man. So it makes sense for him to have the physical advantage. And right now, UTG's in a spot he doesn't want to be in because he's already been submitted by him once. And while I don't think that's very likely, do have to worry about that. And somebody who's this powerful, he's always going to be very dangerous on the ground and pound. And if he can actually get somebody he can control. So, definitely not where you want to be with Ngannou, having him on top. Oh, UTG went in for a takedown. He got caught by an uppercut. Ngannou's looking for the finish. This is a hard fight right here for UTG. A lot harder than I think anybody would have expected. He just can't really find his timing. He can't find his rhythm. He's just not able to really land anything, whereas Ngannou is just constantly peppering him with strikes. And big ones at that, too. Oh, UTG misses. The combination is easily dodged by Francis Ngannou, who almost lands a huge shot. He misses with the strike, though, and UTG takes him to the ground. 45 seconds left. Can he do something with it? He goes straight to side control. Going to be looking for the cheese elbows. He lands 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, thought he was going for 10. That would have been very much WWE style. Regardless, he does some damage. Nowhere near as much as he would have liked. But still, some damage is better than none. The leg kick lands beautifully there. And he takes him down once again. 7 seconds left. I'm not going to say that's going to win him the round, but it definitely could go a long way to keeping it a little bit closer and potentially stealing it. At least on one judge's scorecard, depending on how they score it. I mean, I think damage-wise, Ngannou did do better. I think he landed the bigger shots and landed the more consistent shots. But UTG definitely did a solid job of taking him down in the clutch moments. Right there, we saw UTG probably, if he had a more human chin, he probably would have been unconscious there. You know, lunging in like that with a Superman punch, getting caught by Francis. That's never smart. He actually got caught by like an elbow right there, followed up by an uppercut and then a jab straight to the throat. So that's a bad combination to take. But UTG is still standing. He actually ended the round very strongly, and hopefully he can continue that run into the second round because Ngannou is looking good, but UTG seems to have found the rhythm with the takedowns. He's going to go straight to top mount. He's going to posture up. That elbow didn't do anything, but at least he's weakening Ngannou's block a little bit, which is, of course, very, very important in this kind of situation. He goes over to side control. Ngannou immediately tries to sweep him, but ends up in half guard, and UTG's back in top mount. Back to half guard. UTG goes again in top mount. Like, that's the problem with UTG. He's not good at stopping submissions. I mean, transitions, but he is very, very good at cutting through Ngannou's pass. Guard like butter. So he's doing at least a good job on top. His problem is being on the bottom. And he goes straight to backside. He goes straight to back mount. He's trying to ride this motherfucker. And try to put that fucking UTG penis all over him. Make him feel it. Make him tap from the presence. And he landed them a nice couple elbows. He's landing more and more and more. Is it over? It's over. Francis Ngannou has been defeated for what is either the third or fourth time. I can't remember, honestly. Or maybe it was the second time. I honestly can't remember how many times these guys have fought. It's like the heavyweight division is so shallow that you just keep on fighting the same guys over and over again, it seems like. So, yeah, Francis. I don't know if that was his first title shot since UTG's been in the UFC. That was at least his second shot in total, considering he lost to Stipe. And UTG did what Stipe Miocic was unable to do, a.k.a. finish him with ground and pound. Stipe did a really good job of controlling him, dealing with the early flurry, but UTG did that, and he did more. He actually put away Francis Ngannou, got himself what I would assume is going to be a performance bonus, because if it's not, or at least the fight of the night, because that fight was just insane. But the UFC just continues to have this complete, I don't even know what it is. Like, I don't know if it's like they just don't consider him to be a star, so they want to give it to other people, or maybe they don't like him, they don't respect him. Whatever it is, they just continue to neglect him and not give him money. It's really fucked up. I don't understand it. But not much you can do. UTG is definitely the people's champion. I mean, like, look at that. And he is officially, I don't remember if it was already like that, but he officially has the most finishes, or tied for the most finishes in UFC history, so that's good to see. He's 9 away from UFC fights, so he is starting to get there, and he got almost 500,000 credits for that fight. So that's definitely something you like to see. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell that you get a notification every time one of my videos comes out, which is by far the best way you can support a small channel like me, like mine, or any other small channel you may follow. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.